Hello, my name is Jay Daniel, and welcome to this operations management, productivity, and quality modules. And I'll be taking you through the different topics in operations management. And this session, I'm going to talk about operations and operations strategy. The recommended textbooks are the Operations Management 9th edition by Nigel Slacks and Alistair Brandon Jones, and also there's Essentials of Operations Management by Nigel Slack and Alistair Brandon Jones, actually. And mostly I use this textbook, but there's others as well. So yeah. The first thing is, what is operations management? And I'm going to talk about two topics this session. What is operations management, type of operations management, etc., and plus operation strategy. So what do you think? Think about what is operations management. If you already operations manager or marketing manager or finance manager, etc. So think about what is operations manager. Actually, operations management is, if you can see, there's different component in the operations management, which is inputs, transformation, and output. Based on Slack and Brandon Jones, they are saying operations management is the activity of managing the resources that create and deliver service and products. Heiser also said the process that effectively produce, transform, and deliver product or service. So as you can see, there is lots of things here based on the operations management, and you need to go in depth and detail to find out how your operations is working and what is operations and operations management. Operations and other function. If you can see, what we do is operational activities in marketing. They got some inputs, different inputs from demand, from customers, from different, and then we got some transformation process, which is building a campaign or marketing strategies, etc. And then you got some output, attracting some new customers. And in the transport is as well, transport department, other functional, they are doing, they got lots of inputs, transformation process and output. In the HR, personnel, product development, engineering, and IT department, purchasing, accounting, and finance, all they do, they transfer input into the output. So that's this actually operations and other functions. If you see, all these departments are about operations, but different kind of operations they got. These are all operations. For example, operations in the bank. They got some sort of input, customer information, etc. Balance sheet, different type of thing, and also back office operations in the bank. Manufacturing operations, they got different type of tangible, more, production and manufacturing operations. They got some tangible goods and products. They got some materials, different type of raw materials, etc. And then they got customer orders, demand, and then put together and design the product or service and come up with the assembly line and production line, and they produce. The output is the product. Restaurant operations, like a Prata manager here in this case. If you see, actually the customer goes to the Prata manager, order sandwich or beverage or drink or whatever, and then they make the sandwich for them and deliver to the customer. The customer satisfaction is important as well. a learning process. For example, in different schools, Rushford Business School, etc., there's a learning process. There is some inputs from the student, from the stakeholder, from different type, from the industry, etc. And then the lecturers and module leaders, they design the course and program and deliver the course to the students. Operations are everywhere. The best way to start understanding the nature of operation is look around you. You can see, actually, everything you can see around you has been produced by an operation. Every service you consume today, radio station, news, bus service, lecture, etc., has also produced by an operations. Operations manager create everything you buy, sit on, wear, eat, throw at people and throw away. So everything you see around you is all about operation, because there's some inputs involved, some staff, some machinery, some equipment, etc. And then there is some transformation process and output, which is service or product you can use and consume or whatever. A general model of operations management, as you can see here, transform resources, input resources. There's different type of input, two type of actually input. Transform resources, the resources already transformed. You buy from third party like materials, information, and customer already know, what they want. And then transforming resources, which you transform in your company. Like staff, you do training for the staff, you change the facilities layout or office layout or whatever. So we need to understand there's two type of actually inputs. Then you got operations management. You do something here, transformational process. You transform the input and make some output, which would be sort of products and services, and you deliver to your customer. That's the important part of how you can analyze your supply chain. So you need to make sure analyze your supply chain and operations management. You need to know what's your input, what type of inputs you got, how efficiently you are using your resources, and then your transformational process and operations management is important. How you assemble, put the things together, different raw materials, staff, customer orders, information, facilities, and different capitals together to produce a service or product, and then delivering to your customer. That's the important part. That's the model of operations management. All operation or transformation process. You've got some sort of input transforming into output. So your transformation process is very important. That's why productivity and quality plays an important role here. Play very important role, because how you transform with high quality is very important. And how quick you are, how fast you produce, and how precise and you produce output, that's important. So that's a sort of competitive advantage when you come up with I'm going to talk about that one as well, performance in operation, in next sessions actually. So some inputs transformed resources, as we discussed, already transformed, like materials, information, customers, and some inputs of transforming, you are transforming, but that transformed resources already transformed by a third party or fourth party or another companies in the supply chain. But transforming, you are transforming that actually facilities, staff, training, etc. And then you do some transformation process like assembly, like distribution, any type of operations you do, and then you got outputs and satisfy customer. Outputs and products are products and services that add value for customers. So that's why in the operation strategy we're going to talk about that, how you can add value to your customers. That's the important part. For example, in Subway, input output in the Subway, you need to come up with the input resources, transformation process, serve and satisfy customers. So if you see transform resources, ingredients, packaging, customers, and then transforming resources, you got equipment, fitting, staff, etc. And then in the transformation process, which you go and see, that's like cutting, cooking, heating, assembling, wrapping, and then you got your survey and serve and satisfy customer. That's how it works. Now you need to come up for your company. What's your transform resources? What's your transforming resources, and what you are doing in the transformation process to add value to the customers, and you're going to have a satisfy and serve customers. Operation can be viewed at 3 levels. If you can see the high level, here is the flow between operation, operation flow. The level of supply network could be different companies in the downstream and upstream of the chain, or inbound logistics, outbound logistics, or different companies. They are working together. Could be input, for example, your input could be one of the raw materials suppliers company, which you get materials, or you could get from different IT companies, or IT companies software or ERP system, whatever. So that's the the operation flow between the different companies, the level of the supply chain network. And then you can just focus on one of the companies. That's the flow between processes, the level of the operations. The second level is the flow between processes, just focusing on that company, say the IT company, for example. Then the level of the operations. Then you can break down just one of the processes and go between the resources and the level of process, what sort of resources, what sort of activity involves for doing this process. So you need to understand macro level and macro level of the different type of operations and process, how to analyze any operations. Operations management, all type of organizations. As you can see, automobile assembly factory, operation management uses machines to efficiently assemble products that satisfy current customer demand. And operations management in general practitioner, GPs, and physician. Operations management uses knowledge to effectively diagnose condition in order to treat real and perceived patient concerns. So it depends on your operations. If it's the physical, tangible goods, which is more tangible, we call it manufacturing and production operations management. But if it's more service based and intangible service and products, which you can call a service operations, you need to understand what type of operations you got. It's tangible, intangible goods and service. Operations management for consulting companies. How operations management uses people to effectively create the services that will address current and potential client needs. As a consultant, what you need to do is like operation. You're doing some sort of operation. You are collecting data from the client company, historical data, survey, interviews, different type of data, and then you're doing some analysis with the raw data and combining, coming up with some insight and solution or recommendation for your client's company. That's how management consulting they are doing, you know. So it's a different type of the operations, which we can call a service operation in this case. Variety in operations, that's it. That's another thing how you can understand operation. Pure goods, it's like pure goods. They are more tangible, storable, like automotive industry, car manufacturing, Rolls-Royce, you know, any companies, car manufacturer, Toyota, etc. And then you've got produce in advance. You can produce in advance. It's transportable. Quality is evident, tangible. But pure services, it's intangible and produce on demand, based on the demand. High customer contact, you've got high customer contact and not transportable. And quality difficult to assess. You need to come up with very good attribute and criteria and measurement for the quality. And there is a mix of both. There's some example like psychiatry is pure service, and oil industry is a pure goods, and you can see there is mix of both, like restaurant, software house, etc. is a mix of goods and services. And you can see from the pure service to the pure goods, like consultancy, software companies, restaurant, machine tools, oil refining, crude oil, etc. Different within the sector are usually greater than differences between the sector. If you can see the financial services, there's different type of operation. An account management center at the large retail bank, that's a different type of service. Financial analyst advising a client at an investing bank, that's a different type of service, even in the same industry. If you can see furniture manufacturing, you can have a mass production of kitchen units or craft production of furniture. You go and you say, I want this with this, you know, criteria, with this attribute, this, that, I need this one, and they customize and make for you your, you know, furniture. And also hotels, as you can see, value for money, and also lobby and international luxury hotel. There's a different type of service even in the same industry. Yeah. Then other things for analyzing your operations to find out the differences and varieties, you need to find out about, we call it 4Vs analysis or 4Vs model. This is a very good model. You can use it like your volume. When you are analyzing an operations, you can check the volume. Is it high or low volume? Variety. Is it high variety or low variety? And variation in demand, high or low. So it gives you very good indication what type of operation is, and you can compare them. Visibility. For example, like Subway or KFC. When you go to the Subway, you got lots of high visibility, but in the KFC you don't have the visibility. They are cooking the back, you know, kitchen. So also variation in demand, etc., variety and volume, that we call it 4Vs of operations to analyzing different operations. 4Vs profile of two operation. For example, here you can see Formula 1 hotel. The volume is high, variety is low, variation is low, and visibility is low. Actually, and there is a Goosey Safari Lodge. You can see that volume is low, variety high, variation high, or visibility is high. Like Toyota and Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is like a Formula 1 hotel. The volume is actually like a Safari Lodge. The volume is low, variety is high, variation is high, because different customer, they want different type of products. And then visibility is high. You can order even the color of the inside of your car, different colors, different specification, etc. for your car. But for example, Toyota is different. They got high volume, low variety, variation is low compared to the Rolls-Royce, and visibility is low. It's important to understand, based on this four risk profile of your operation, what you can do, analyze with the four risk for your company as well, to understand the different operation position on the four risk. How position is it? The volume is high or low, and etc. Is the position where they want to be? Can they reposition for your company? Can you reposition your company based on this 4Vs model? Do they understand the strategic implication of this choice? There's a strategic implication for this choice, and you need to understand that one as well. For example, the implication of high and low volume in operations and processes. For the low volume is low repetition. Each staff member performs more of each task. Less systemization and high unit cost. Then you got the low. That's the implication. And what about the high volume? High repeatability, specialization, capital intensive, low unit cost. It's you got here, economy of the scale here in the high volume. So you can see there's a different implication for high and low volume. And there is a high variety. What's the implication? It's flexible. Manufacturing and operations, they got flexible and complex, because when you've got high variety like Rolls-Royce, match customer needs, you need to match the customers, and high unit cost. But implication for the low variety is well-defined, routine, standard, regular, low unit cost. You can see that there's a different implication for high and low variety. What about variation in demand? Implication: changing capacity, anticipation, flexibility, in touch with demand, and high unit cost. But when it's low, stable, routine, predictable, high utilization, low unit cost. So when you're joining a company or you're already working in a company, you need to understand the variation in demand is low or high. So there's a different implication for low or high variation in demand. Visibility. What's the implication? Short waiting tolerance when visibility is high. When you go to the subway, you can wait half an hour, 20 minutes. They need to, okay, I need this bread, I need this, for example, steak and cheese or chicken or this, that. And then satisfaction governed by customer perception. Customer perception is important, how they are, running the operation in the subway. And then customer contact skills needed. All the people, they contact the customer. That's important to build a good relationship with the customer and treat the customer very well. Receive variety is high. Variety is high. Oh, I want this sandwich, not that burger, or this one, that one. So that's important. High unit cost as well. But what is the implication of low visibility? Like, say, KFC, McDonald's, etc. Time lag between production and consumption. Quickly they, produce the product or service. Standardization, they're standard. Low contact skills, high staff utilization, and then centralization, low unit cost. That's the implication for low visibility. Okay, actually we sort of finished the operations management. There was some good model we introduced: ITO model, input, transformation, output. And also I introduced the 4Vs, and I suggest you guys go through your company already you're working, and come up with the 4Vs profile, analyze your operations, what's your input, different type of input, different type of transformation process you got, and map your process. That's the important bit, to come up with a good understanding of your operations and how you're going to manage your operation efficiently and effectively. The next topic I will be talking about is the operation strategy. As you know that strategy is very important in operations, and we're going to go through and introduce different models and different things and for the operation strategy as well. What is strategy first? Setting broad objective that direct organization towards this overall goal. We call it heli view. You need to go up of your company and then see what you can see. What's the big picture, environment, external companies, external environment, and, sense your environment, etc. Plan the path in general rather than specific term that will achieve these goals. And then you need to plan the path and focus on long-term rather than short-term objective, dealing with total picture rather than individual activities. All you can see what's going on in the industry, and then environment, government, lobbying, interest groups, stakeholder, etc. You need to find out the important stakeholders and get the sense of what's going on the competition. There is some opportunities, threats, etc. to find out what's going on, and being detached from and above the confusion and distraction day-to-day activities. Sometimes we are bogged down in details and with lots of operational activities. If we come up with the top and have a hell of a view, we can have very good understanding the strategy. So what is the role of operations function? Operation as implementer sometimes is strategy. It's a corporate level strategy, and then business level, and then operation strategy. Strategy come first, and then operations implement strategy. The next type of operations function is a supporter. Operations actually support strategy, but the next one, the third one, is the operation drive strategy. Operation got very operational, strategic operation to drive your bigger picture and your strategy. Strategy hierarchy, you can see corporate level, key strategic decision, what business to be in, what to acquire, what to divest, how to allocate cash, and influences on decision making, economic environment, social environment, political, and company values and ethics. So come up with different things, with a big, corporate, and then you break it down to the business strategy. What is the mission? What are the strategy objective of the firm? How to compete? And then influence on decision making, like customer market dynamics, competitor activities or analysis, core technology dynamics, financial constraints. Then a functional strategy, how to contribute to the strategic objective, how to manage the function, resources, skills of the function staff, current technology, recent performance of the function. It's important for the decision making. Here's the Rolls-Royce the strategy hierarchy. For example, corporate strategy, they got different, bigger picture of the corporate strategy for the Rolls-Royce, for all of their, its business, like civil aerospace, defense, nuclear, marine, power system, etc. They got a big picture for the corporate, and then they got business strategy for each businesses, and then they got functional strategies like marketing strategies, operation strategies, finance and technology strategies, if you can see. So you can see the different layers of corporate, business and functional strategy. For if you're working in a company and also or joining a new company, you need to come up with what level of the strategy you're performing. You're in the operation strategy, functional one, or business strategy, or corporate strategy. The full perspective on operation strategy, if you see requirement resources perspective, operations resources perspective, what operation resources can do, sort of operation resources you have, what you can do with it. And then market requirement perspective, what the market position requires operations to do. And top-down perspective, what the business wants operations to do. And then bottom-up perspective, what day-to-day experience suggests operations should do. So you need to look at from different bottom-up, top-to-down, and operation resources and market requirement perspectives. Operation strategy formulated on what competition is doing. For example, Company X, airline Company X is low price, high operational efficiency and on-time flight. Airline competition is suggesting low price, high operational efficiency and on-time flight and good customer service. So alternative strategy one could be low price, high operational efficiency, on-time flight and good customer service. Then another alternative strategy could be reduce even more low price, high operational efficiency, on-time flight. So you need to check the competition and see the, analyze the competition to find out what you need to do, and etc. Operation strategy formulated on what the customer wants. Actually, competitive factors, if the customer valued is, or what's the performance objective. So like low priced, if the competitive factors is low price, if the customer valued the low price, then operation strategy must focus on these costs. You need to have the low cost. If the customer value high quality, you need to improve your quality, focus on the quality. This fast delivery, speed is, you need to focus on the speed for your operation strategy. Reliable delivery, you need to focus on dependability and on-time delivery. Actually, innovative products and services, you need to go through the flexibility of products and service. And wide range of products and service, it's the flexibility in terms of demand and plus flexible variety in demand and variety in your products and services. You need to focus on that. Ability to change the timing or quantity of products and services. Flexibility, you need to come up with a good flexibility for the volume. You can increase if customers suddenly increase their purchasing from you, buying from you, how you can respond to that needs of the customer. Or if customer demand you to deliver to product instead of next week, by Friday, how are you going to do it? And do you have very good flexibility and producing things and with the flexibility with the timing and volume as well. For example, here is Ryanair, low-fare airlines. Their mission is Ryanair's objectives firmly establishes them as a Europe's leading low-fare scheduled passenger airline. Their vision is a world where passengers fly for free, and the corporate strategy generate increased passenger traffic by offering low-cost tickets, maintaining continuous focus on cost containment and operational efficiency. If you can see operation strategy, can you see that flying only one type of plane, 737 standard, using smaller airports, no frilly service on board like a British Airways or another airlines, selling tickets directly to the customer, keeping turnaround service at the airport to a minimum. So that's the sort of example what you can do now. Actually, business strategy is the aggregated strategy of single business firm or unit in a diverse corporation. So the question is now, please go through what is the operation strategy of your company at the moment you're working. Go through and find out about your operation strategy. How does the operation strategy help the company to satisfy its customer? How you add value to the customers? What specific operations competencies must your company have in order to make a success of its strategy? So this is the sort of activity for you to answer this. You can go through, you know, that recommended book and other resources we are putting in the, you know, module. You can go and find about that. Okay. So summary, I want to summarize this today. Actually, in this session, we talked about operation, different type of operation, and you know, and also the operation strategy. Operation is around us in everything we do throughout our entire lives. All organizations have operations function, and it is where most actually value is added. Operation provides the organization with reconciliation of what the market requires and what the organization can provide. Operation may be function of an organization, but that does not mean that is not strategy. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be talking in the next session about, you know, different topics of the operations management. Thank you.